What it do, YouTube? This Lobo here, back with another video, and today we're going to be talking about the Illuminati Card Game. Before you get anything, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell. So the Illuminati Card Game is a cult classic. It has been known to predict major events that happen throughout the years later on. And the popularity also increased due to this phenomenon, much like how the Simpsons are known for predicting major events. And I might add with a high clip of accuracy from the Simpsons. This game came out in 1994 and another version in 1995 through Steve Jackson Games. If you look at the Steve Jackson Games logo, it is so blatant. It's got the all-seeing eye, the one-eye symbolism is crazy. And then on top of that, you also there's an article on CIA.gov saying that this is the game that reveals the plan of the Illuminati to take over the world. And not to mention, the original Illuminati card game came out in the 1980s. And they're predicting things in the 2000s and currently. And things even further along than that. And this is a game from the 1980s and 1990s. Let that sink in for a second. Steve Jackson read a lot of books, so he was able to connect the dots on a lot of things with his theories. And everything that he was trying to push and convey in his game. And if you look at this and look at all of the things that they predicted and that we witnessed before, and they show these comparisons over and over with the images next to the card, like the real thing versus the card. At some point, you've got to realize that all of these world events, these major events, are pre-planned. And everything is carried and orchestrated out by a group of actors. But we just can't seem to wake up from that. Look at the back of the box. It says, choose your Illuminati. Control groups. Think about that and how everything is controlled, like the media, all these different big corporations, these athletes. Use your puppets to attack others, aka the rappers, the actors, the celebrities, the athletes, and rule the world because they have them pushing the agenda because they are influential. Social engineering. Okay, I'm gonna leave this Wikipedia page up. I'm gonna let you all read this and so you can see a quick backstory of the game and its origins. Now, this is the CIA article I was talking about, where it says, proof that the Illuminati planned terrible events many years ago to bring down our culture. Had to pause on you niggas real quick to really understand how everything's going on now with the different movements, with the different agendas being pushed through the media. Whether it be the Asian hate thing, the transformer agenda, how it affects the culture in the long run. A lot of people don't see how it affects the culture in the long run. They just see how it affects things today. But there's always a ripple effect. What the things that happen today are felt tomorrow. Now, if you look at these 9 cards, you have Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton. And if you look at those, Hillary Clinton is holding a leash around Bill Clinton's neck when you see them side by side, showing who really runs things. Then they have an Al Gore card. You think about the inconvenient truth. He was always pushing about global warming. The terrorist nuke card, which we're going to get into later. What does that look like? The Twin Towers, 9/11, the Pentagon. Things like that. Just, this game came out, again, 1994 and 1995. Yet they predicted stuff that happened in 2001. Conspiracy theorists, the thorn in the side of the elites. They don't like people that have the ability to think on their own. That's why you're usually ostracized if you go against the wave of the mainstream way of thinking. You get villainized, ostracized, yet shall I say crucified. Then you have Wall Street, Saddam Hussein, jihad. You have to realize the world governments use alien tech to manipulate these world events, whether it be weather manipulation with HAARP, earthquakes, tsunamis, all of that. Forest fires in California, they had burn patterns that made right angles And fire is supposed to burn in a circular pattern. And you know these were lasers. If you look at this clipper chip card, think about how they want to chip individuals and how hard they're pushing this V-shot right now. And you think about the Neuralink that Elon Musk is talking about. Bill Gates wants to get into the game of the medical game. These are big tech companies. Big tech individuals with movers and shakers that have a lot of money and a lot of influence. That's why you see all these commercials starting with the pandemic. They kept pushing this chip and a phone. It could be a chip for your brain, virtual reality, things that get you geared towards transhumanism and the technocracy. Because at the end of the day, they have one goal in mind, and that is population reduction, which is a card in itself in this game. Which they're showing you they don't care about you. Even if you go back to the CIA.gov article, they do not give a damn about anybody. They want power. They want to keep their money. They want control. And they'll do anything to get it and keep it. This is why they've programmed us to be attached to phones and put stuff on the cloud. Get all these things that store your information. It's easier to track you. Your phone always wants location services, access to the microphone, access to the camera. You say something, there's an ad that pops up about what you just said, what you just went to the store for and you saw. The ad pops up as soon as you get home. So they know everything about you. That's why they push social media with Facebook, Instagram, with the pictures and showing where you're located. On your live, showing your people can find you from your IP address. I mean, there's feds on the social media anyway. Advanced surveillance. In 1911, the elites gained full control of the textbooks, and then they rewrote history in the process. Hence why we are forced to go to school and be there for as long as we're there. Because we're always in the care of the government more than we were with our parents. Because if you break down the term parents, it's a parent that rents. You're just renting your kids. And when we're in school, basically we're dumbed down and programmed to think a certain way. They essentially program you to be a 9-to-5 worker or go to prison. Simple as that. Think about like how you have to walk in a line, raise a hand to speak, ask for permission to go to the bathroom. And then we're stuck in this system. We're stuck in this loop that feeds their pockets and feeds their power more and more. And we always fall for the same thing over and over and over. When you look at this immortality card, and then you see the blood and everything like that, you think about adrenochrome and how essential it is to the people that run the world. Because they want to live forever. That's why they want to hold that control forever. That's why they want to put your consciousness on a chip, on like a USB drive, essentially. So you can live forever. You can get a new body. Just transfer consciousness. That's why all these video games show this, like Grand Theft Auto. You play online, you die, you get to come back again. You get to make your own body, choose what you look like. You're interacting with other people doing the same thing. You got virtual reality, you're taking your mind out of it. Virtual reality, not a real reality. And then with this, as far as the immortality serum and them going after adrenochrome, like, it's big as far as like children and shit. That's what Monsters Inc. was about. Whenever they scared the kids, they had to get the fluid from them. Yeah, that's what they're alluding to. And that's why all of these, you see all these politicians and celebrities, they have the black eye. Some drinking that shit. What you think all these niggas just got into a fight before they took a picture? All of them just got punched in the face? Come on. And you seen the Pope had it too. But someone fucked him up and punched him in the face before he made an appearance? Come on. You know the Pope protected. Then we have the Pizzagate card. There's even a Little Caesars commercial where they had the Illuminati meeting in like a pizza. And it was like the big corporate pizza. And it's just showing you how blatant it is now and how asleep people are. And then it's alluding to Pizzagate. Going back talking about Hillary Clinton during the 2016 presidential election. And they found emails with her talking about Moloch and shit. Like, who does that? And whenever you hear these celebrities or any politicians talking about a pizza party, they're talking about kids doing fucked up shit to kids. I'll let you do the research and look it up and find the definition of it, but it's some sick shit and it's fucked up. You've had athletes like LeBron James talking about pizza party, Chrissy Teigen, her tweeting about a whole bunch of shit, even talking about John Legend, talking about like how he's a pedophile and all this shit, allegedly. But then she wanted to pass it off as a joke. Like, oh, I'm just joking. Like, you don't joke about shit like that. And now you see they have a card mocking flat earthers. Because, you know, there's a wave of people that have believed that the earth is flat. And then you have those, of course, that were conditioned to believe that it's round. And a lot of the things about it being round don't even add up. Most of the pictures you see, if not all, fuck that, all of them that you see are computer generated images. Those are not real images of the planet that you think you're seeing. No, nigga, that's not Earth. They made that shit up. Or you think shit keep changing all the textbooks? They just update it. There's a YouTube video about it where they show what they do in detail to do it. And what brought back the whole flat earther thing was Kyrie Irving making a big deal about it. And then the media, should I say the media made a big deal about it. And he was around like All-Star Weekend. And it's just like, of all the things you could talk about, you want to talk about the flat earth. And the fact they jumped on it so quick lets you know there's some truth to that. It's no difference than whenever Steph Curry said he didn't believe the moon landing was real. He had to apologize, which doesn't make any sense. Buzz Aldrin even admitted that the moon landing wasn't real. Then you have the television card, as I like to call it. The don't touch that dial. They want you glued to the TV. Especially during the COVID time, they want you in the house. So you're watching TV, all these streaming services, keeping you distracted, keeping you programmed to think whatever they want you to think. Because media is actually an acronym. It stands for multi-ethnical destruction in America. So that should tell you. Most people obviously not going to tell you this, but the more you know. They don't want you thinking for yourself. Like, a lot of people don't even realize that it's legal for the news to lie to you. Because they can get away with it because it's entertainment. And a teleprompter is a script. I know I've said this before, but to reiterate, it is a script. It's just an electronic script. And here you have the political correctness card. And you see two guys hanging by a noose. Basically, they getting killed over stupid shit, as I like to call it. But just making the wrong pronoun choice or something minute in the grand scheme of things, but people want to make a big deal about everything, about pronouns, about bathrooms, gender roles, anything. You can't say it this way or that way, or you're viewed as you're the bad guy. And that's where social engineering comes from social media, as a cult thinking mentality. Everybody wants to be cool. Nobody wants to rock the boat. Everybody wants to be liked. And now you have the gun control card, which is very prevalent now. You look at all the different shootings that have happened all over the place, from the massage parlors, the one that happened in Indianapolis, the ones in Boulder, Colorado, and they just keep popping up over and over, and one in Knoxville. They just keep popping over and over, and now Biden's talking about taking executive action against guns, making it harder to get guns, making the requirements stricter. Basically taking away your rights slowly but surely. And they'll always leave a distraction. It's also a distraction to push more bullshit laws. Because I always find it odd how the backstory is always confusing. People don't really know much about them. They just come out of nowhere. They don't know the motive. But they always blame it on the gun control. They don't know the motive. What the hell? Come on. People gotta wake up. And this one also goes in tandem with the Law and Order. Because there were some all these cops getting killed, which goes back to gun control. If they take away our guns, they have more power. And then you think about last summer with the George Floyd and all the different riots. They had all these different videos surfacing of cops killing black people, pushing an agenda. It does happen, don't get me wrong, but they're pushing an agenda for the election. And now they're pushing another agenda, so all the cops killing blacks died down, and now it's just mass shootings. And you think about this, every time one of these cops is killing a black person, the camera always pans away when the shot is gone, when they actually shoot the shot, and they pan back. Usually if it was a real person, they would want to show the whole thing if your goal is to expose something, not hide the actual real evidence. Like, you got to start connecting the dot on a lot of these things. Like, you just can't take it at face value just because of what the news said. And if you look at this photo, you'll notice the 33, which is a significant number with the Freemasons, like 33rd degree Mason. 33 is masonry in gematria. It is order. It is police. You see the police is in the picture. These are the little clues I'm talking about that you have to pay attention to. These pictures are strategically taken to convey a certain message. And then you have the March on Washington when you think about the Capitol riots. The media blitz could be from the protests. It could also be from the Capitol riots. Like, this stuff again was planned. You think about all the no, the nope, the grr, we don't like it. It's all talk about how the Trump supporters were mad that Trump didn't win, how the election was rigged, which they have hard evidence about that. But again, they like to play it off as a joke and massively dismiss it through, I've noticed this on shows like Shameless. There's one that did that South Park. They did the same thing. And it's just showing you how they just keep toying with these different psyops, showing you we can always divide and conquer anytime we need to, so you can never think together and try to rise up. They also wanted to beef up security in the Capitol building as well. That was another excuse for it. So you got to think about how easy they got in there. You know damn well they security a lot better than that. They made that shit look way too easy, and a number of people who were able to climb those tall ass walls and shit. Like, ain't nobody in a pool of that group of people. There shouldn't be that many people who are able to do that. Especially when you think about the obesity rate in America. Come on. And now to the oh so popular Enough is Enough card, which is actually Joe Biden's response to the Capitol riots that Trump was blamed for. If you peep this video here in a second. Because everyone always likes to show Donald Trump's face on there, when in reality it's Joe Biden's. And the card also says on there, at any time, at any place, our snipers can drop you. Have a nice day. In reference to the assassination of Donald Trump that has been predicted through the Simpsons as well. The Simpsons also predicted Trump winning the presidency in 2000, where the same picture surfaced in 2015 with him on the escalator. Now let's check out this video of Joe Biden's response and listen to what he says. Listen to the phrasing.
The American people are going to stand up. Stand up now. Enough is enough is enough. Enough is enough is enough.
Another card that's relevant to us now, the Interesting Times card. Think about how weird things are now. Again, going back to the way of thinking, how they're going towards gender neutrality. How all these crazy events are going on, like that fire tornadoes in California. This whole pandemic. It's just everything that we were accustomed to has changed and shifted so much that has gotten everyone's attention. But yet at the same time, it's been able to keep people asleep from the bigger issues. And now we have the big three that are really relevant to us now from the Center for Disease Control and their different guidelines, quote unquote. The epidemic, linking to the pandemic. And I peep how it says quarantine. And then the goal population reduction in relation to Bill Gates and Big Pharma. If you think about this, COVID. That's what happened. You see the face mask, you see the syringe, the gloves, the pills. Like I said, quarantine before. which can show you that the pandemic, as I call it, was orchestrated. Look up Event 201, and it will show the simulation of the events that took place in 2020, even down to the riots, the food shortages, the coin shortages, all of it. And this was completed under the Microsoft headquarters, and their employees knew nothing of it. Think about the time of the CEO stepping down. Event 201 was conducted in 2019, and there was also a tweet during the summer of 2019 where Richard Sherman said everybody better save their money for 2020. How did he know about that stuff? And then to go back to the CEO stepping down, you have Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, George Soros. These aren't all of them that I'm saying are stepping down, but all of them that are really active right now. George Soros, Elon Musk. These are like the big shakers for this whole pandemic. Think about Bill Gates with the vax, Jeff Bezos pushing for the chip as well, Elon Musk with the Neuralink, already chipping up gorillas, making them do like actual work, mind control. George Soros with the BLM movement, which if a lot of people don't even know this, on their mission statement, they want to get rid of the patriarchy in the household, which is not good for black people. People need to stop supporting that organization. And as far as Bill Gates goes, he's not a doctor. Why the fuck are we listening to this nigga about doing all this shit? Talking about taking the jab. Nigga, you are a tech dude. Stay your ass in your lane. Stop talking about fucking vaccines and shit. And for these face masks, they don't do anything. They don't do anything. All these riots and shit was going on. Niggas wasn't saying a damn thing about, you better wear your mask. No. This shit is one big sham, dude. Because you look at people like out and about. It'll be like a group of 6. They all be having a mask on, but they not 6 feet apart. If you want to go by those rules. So the mask ain't doing shit. It's all symbolic. It's like herding up cattle. They want to say who obeys and who doesn't. Make it easier to identify us. And when we look at these non-cards, you see the rewriting history one, which I've already talked about. The terrorist nuke one, I really want to talk about that one. You look at the Pentagon. Think about what happened in 2001. I've already talked about the middle 3. Then you see the goal, kill for peace, order out of chaos, really. And this just shows you how strategic they are. And how calculated they are and how many steps ahead they are over the people. Because they hadn't kept the people in the dark. And they're programmed. So already at a mental disadvantage. We have the numbers, but they have the brains. Or the masterminds, if you will. And you see the terrorist nuke card predicted the World Trade Center being attacked. And then you see the pics look identical. How the hell did they know that shit? This is from 1995, the card is. The actual picture, 2001. And then you think about the possible CGI from the plane on TV. Because there's people in New York that said they didn't even see a plane, it's just an explosion. And then there was even a call, a crisis actor, calling for help, and in the background she whispered, "It's a frame." And it was a front to get poppy seeds. And for drugs, heroin, so on and so forth. To up security. Think of the Homeland Security Act. Tap into our phones. Surveillance. And they kept boosting up the surveillance with every major attack. Or major event. Think about with COVID, you have the face recognition, the face scanner that's supposed to scan your body temperature. They're getting you accustomed to face recognition. See all these cameras everywhere when you walk in a store in Walmart. All these cameras showing you're on TV, aisle by aisle. The imposter card is pretty self-explanatory. You see all these people playing different roles. Some are wearing masks. They're all actors. Pushing agendas, they have the masses fooled. That's why they say the world is a stage. I'll let you read it for a second before we get up out of here. And then this last card, Messiah, which is hinting at the return of Jesus Christ. But in reality, this one's going to be the Antichrist. Think about Project Bluebeam. So someone the masses will blindly follow. They'll come as a friendly individual even though they have fucked up intentions. This is why you hear so many people talking about the end of days. We're in the end of days now with all the crazy stuff going on. The Great Awakening, the Great Reset, all of these, I guess, conspiracy buzz terms, whatever you want to call them, these spiritual buzz terms. Now, when you look at this website, they have just a long list of other cards that they have for the game. A lot of these cards are expensive too. Some of them $200, $300. It's just so many different events. It's kind of like I guess like Yu-Gi-Oh! How you have different collectible cards worth different amounts, and they have different purposes. This is just like that. They got the number on them, like how powerful the card is, what does it do. But you just scroll through. They have so many different ones, and they come in packs too. It's kind of like packs of different events. And I was scrolling through reading them, and you just see different things that stick out now. So that is the Illuminati card game breakdown. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you're notified anytime I go live. Thank you for watching.